Alright, hello everyone, this is your boy Pringle Plays, and today I got another video for you, a motivational one. It's called Unhealthy and Healthy Relationships. So today I'm going to talk about, since we're in February, the theme of love. I'm going to talk about when a relationship is good for you, but also when it's bad, because I see a lot of people in relationships that aren't the greatest, yet they stay. So I'm going to give you some reasons and some tips to hopefully help you make it better, and also explain why people kind of stay with relationships that aren't the greatest. So the first thing is reality versus fantasy. So healthy relationships are based in reality. Each person is aware of his or her own strengths and weaknesses. So there's no need to hide or try to fool the other. So each person is also aware of the other person's strengths and weaknesses. So both members of the relationship understand what makes this person stronger, what makes this person weaker. So there's no need to make up a image of this person in your mind, because when you're in a relationship with someone, you already know their faults, you know their weaknesses, you know their strengths, you know all of that. So a lot of times relationships fail because people have this fantasy of this their significant other. They think, oh, this person he has no faults, da 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 da. And when something were to happen, it shatters their whole image, shatters their whole dream, or the fantasy that they created of their partner, instead of who they really are. And that's why a lot of relationships have this issue. What people need to understand, there's no need to pretend like the problems don't exist, or to tiptoe around unmatchable issues or areas, because that leads into a lot of issues, which I'll explain later on in the video, that lead to other reasons why relationships can go from really healthy to really unhealthy. And accepting and understanding of the difference between the reality of someone versus their fantasy actually helps turn an unhealthy relationship slowly back into a healthy relationship. So think about it, it works vice versa. It doesn't only work one way and that's it. It can go backwards. Right? So the next thing, this is the really big thing, is completing versus finding completion. A lot of people just date people because they need to, because they have this needing of completion. Right? They need it because they need to complete themselves. What people need to realize, and I think a lot of young kids who are getting into dating now, is you don't need to find a significant other to be satisfied or to find joy. Yes, it helps and it's an addition, but you don't need them to complete you. And healthy relationship, in a healthy relationship, each person finds joy in sharing the other person's growth, in playing a role in completing the other. But in the unhealthy relationship, the focus is on completing oneself. Keyword. You're only thinking about you. You're thinking about, I need this person to make me feel good. I need this person because it's not only the only option, but it's because I need it to be happy. Right? That is a selfish nature of the heart. Right? And it causes too many people to, give half of themselves to another person, or to give half into a relationship. And that causes a good relationship where people can have so much in common just go straight downhill, because the one person is like, oh, I'm going to give you all of me, and the other person is like, I just have you around because of comfortability. You're here, and we've been dating for so long, so I'm just going to stick with you because it makes me feel good. And that's really selfish. You don't really care about that person, and rather than drag them through endless pain, just let them go. But a lot of people, like I said, they just want that completion, and also with finding completion is the person who's given all of them, they're not seeing what's happening, and it causes dysfunction, and it causes addictive behaviors where you consistently need to be around someone and you can't be alone because you're feeding or you need that person. And that's a really bad trait. So what I would say is, instead of finding someone to complete yourself, find someone that helps motivate you and guide you, and helps you complete your goals as a team, not a solo effort, a team. Alright, the next thing is friendship versus victimization, and this is a really big topic. Alright, so A traditional relationship, a healthy one to be exact, can be described as two good friends becoming better friends, right? The strongest and most successful relationships, even the most passionate and romantic marriages, have this kind of true friendship at the base. Where this base of true friendship is absent, the relationship becomes shallow and susceptible to being marked by victimization. Meaning that if you don't build a relationship on friendship, you're going to have a bad time. And that goes with anything. Because you need to understand that, you're not dating this person so you can take advantage and just have them so no one else. You're doing it because you guys had that friendship. The friendship turned to more feelings. These more feelings turned into love. And then the love grew and you guys are growing together. When it reaches a point in a relationship where it's like I said, coming from creating that fantasy into, trying to complete yourself, it turns into victimization next, because it's like you only care about yourself, and then you only see the person as an item, not as someone you care about. So it's better to start a relationship with friendship, and to note when you're in a victimized relationship is when the person they completely treat you different from when you first met. When that friendship you had just turns south, and you when a person sees you as an item and not as a significant other, then you need to start reevaluating your relationship and understand that maybe it's time to start saying goodbye. And I feel like a lot of people, especially women, once they find someone and they get dependent on the person, or they fall in love with the person, which women tend to do quickly, and men do too as well, not to separate by gender. They don't want to leave the person because again, comfortability. They have this fantasy, they have this idea. Remember, all of these link together because each one causes another step. Now, the next one coming up. Sacrifice versus demand for sacrifice. This is really, really important. So it's like when you're in a healthy relationship, you don't need to demand sacrifice, in the sense that the person will do what they have to for you because they love you, because it's the right thing to do. On the other hand, when it's unhealthy, you have someone like, well, I expect you to do this for me. If something like, say a guy came in the house and he shot me, I expect you to shoot him back. I expect you to do this. I expect you, like setting that expectation that they're supposed to, give up everything for you, rather than you doing it selflessly. If someone has to tell you that you need to do this, that maybe you need to reevaluate your relationship, because it should become natural because you want to sacrifice yourself for them, because you want to do it for them, and not because you want because they tell you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole idea, like men, that women get mad at men for, like, she shouldn't tell you have to, remember the anniversary, or she shouldn't have to tell you to go get groceries, or she shouldn't tell you have to do these little things. It should be because you want to do it for yourself. And I'm not saying that the relationship is bad, it's just that this is something that shows up in a lot of unhealthy relationships. It gets to a point where one partner notices that they're only sacrificing time, money, energy on another person who wouldn't do the same for them. That's what I mean. And when that happens, like I said, like all the other ones, you want to reevaluate your relationship. It's okay to reevaluate your relationship and understand what's going wrong. Doesn't mean the relationship is over, just means that you guys can fix it before it gets worse. So let's see. The next one. This is one that people have a struggle with. And I don't care what you say. I know a lot of you have an issue with this. Forgiveness versus resentment. Forgiveness, to me, is it's a gift between two people. Being able to forgive someone for past hurts and disappointments is so powerful, because there's a lot of women out here who get hurt by men and they carry it on and they stay with this person and they keep they don't forgive them, and it turns into resentment. And when you resent someone, it's hard to love them again, because unless you're a strong-willed person, because once a person gets hurt once, they don't trust anybody. And I'm not saying women do. There's a lot of men who are the same way. And if they're refusing to forgive someone, think about it. It's like carrying around a garbage bag full of hurt of the past. You're just carrying that extra load on your back. Why? If you love this person, that people make mistakes. Forgive them. Don't forget. There's a difference between forgiveness and forgetting. You're forgiving them because you know what they did, and you'll be a little bit smarter when they start exhibiting these times again. But it just means that you should forgive them and not hold it against them, because you holding on to it is like holding like poison. It's like it's like you drinking poison and expecting them to taste it. It's not gonna work. And if you resent a person, again, reevaluate your relationship. Why are you with this person if you can't forgive them? Forgiveness is such a powerful thing, because when you forgive that person, you get that peace of mind, but also you rekindle that love that you've lost. And I feel like a lot of relationships, there shouldn't be any heavy garbage bags, aka resentment. You shouldn't be having that in a healthy relationship. You may be upset. You'll remember it every so often, but because you forgave them, it won't affect you as hard as it did the first time. Like when a man cheats on you, or when a woman cheats on you, if you forgive them, me personally, I would not stay with the person, because cheaters tend to do it consistently. But if you're someone who's willing to make it work, especially those who are married and those who've been in relationships longer, I would say try to work it out. And if you still can't trust a person, rather than let fester and become resentment, reevaluate, weigh the pros and cons, and leave the person, or stay with the person and continue to try to make it work. But I think this is the most important thing to know: forgiveness. Don't let it turn into resentment, because resentment can destroy marriages, happiness, and the really healthy relationships. So I think this is really important. Another thing is security versus fear. And this is more for the people who've been hurt before. Those who've been cheated on. They're afraid. They once they lose that security, it turns into fear. And fear is a destroyer of love. In a sense that fear makes you do things that go against the ideas and the lessons of love, because you're afraid that this person may hurt you. And you don't want that. And that's okay. But you have to understand that in the sense of security, it's like you shouldn't feel insecure. Nobody wants to feel insecure, and insecurity leads to fears. And, you're always thinking about this and that. A healthy relationship, your partner makes you feel safe. And if the partner can't make you feel safe, talk to them. Say, hey, I don't feel safe. Not safe with you, but I don't feel like I can open up to you. I don't feel like I can talk to you, because we don't have that sense of security. How can we work together to build that? I want to trust you again. And this is in the case of if you've been cheated or hurt before. But if you have your own certain insecurities, because a lot of us do, especially in the society, we're insecure about our weight, our looks, our style, the income, all that. It's hard to find security, and that's a rare commodity. But a relationship, when you're dating someone, that person should make you not be afraid of those things. It should make you feel secure, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And and I feel like a lot of unhealthy relationships, this is the key. Fear and not forgiving are the two things, the two F's. They hold you back from finding love. You know what I'm saying? And finding that true happiness in your relationship. Because after they cheat on you and you resent them, it grows the fears. It brings back all the insecurities that you shouldn't have. And what happens to a relationship? It's just a steady downward. Just straight down. But the thing is, again, like with every relationship, it can be saved. If you wanted to, or it can be saved if it's needed. And I feel like in order to rebuild security, you let them know, hey, I want to feel secure again. Just talk to them. That's the best way to say it. Hey, I know X, Y, and Z happened, but let me speak to you from the heart because I love you and I care about you. And I feel like we as people, we're so reliant on security and the idea of not being good enough for someone that it causes a lot of good relationships to go bad, causes a lot of bad relationships to go even worse. But there's always hope, so don't forget about that. If you don't feel like, if this relates to you and you feel like you're not secure enough in your relationship, talk. So you can alleviate fear, because fear should not be a motivator for you to stay, and nobody should harm you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. If you don't have no security in your relationship, reevaluate it and get it. If you can't get it, leave. I would say leave or find someone else or seek counseling. Those are my tips, because I feel like security and forgiveness and resentment are really two important ones. Alright, and this is another one coming up. Vulnerability and defensiveness. This is beautiful because in our society it's hard to be vulnerable. Men can't be vulnerable because it's not accepted in society. Women are afraid to be vulnerable because they don't want to be hurt. And a lot of women that I've encountered in my life, they have these walls already preset because of the unhealthy relationships they've been through. And every single one, they've been targeted by fear, by resentment, by, this fantasy, everything that they created. And I'm here to say that you can break down those walls. If you love that person and you want to be with that person, break down those walls. Because why? Everyone has the ability to be vulnerable. I remember it was the first time I ever cried in my life was after my father passed. And I never cried. I was a tough kid. I used to get beat. I used to get bullied, whatever. And after he passed away, because that was my person to be vulnerable with. And remember, relationships doesn't have to be dating or marriage. It could be friendship. It could be, parent to parent, or parent to child or child to child. And he was the person I could be vulnerable with. Yep. And after losing him, I cried for the first time. And it was hard for me to be vulnerable with anyone until I met like a group of people. Shout out to Howard HU. I met a lot of people there who showed me it's okay to cry. They showed me that I broke down one day. The organization called Trust. We had a bro moment where I broke down, and I never cried in front of anybody. But I tell you this: the moment I was vulnerable and stopped putting my walls up, I felt like a better person. And this is very key in relationships. A lot of people put walls up after somebody does something wrong, and we put walls up because we're afraid of being hurt. Because when you get hurt once, you don't want that feeling again. And it's so sad because there's so many beautiful women out there and beautiful men who have these walls that they need to let light in. Open a window in that wall. Break it down. Don't allow unhealthy relationship in your past affect this. See how it all ties in together? Because you created this fantasy that, the other person or you were seeking completion and you didn't get it, it led to, resentment. It leads to fear, and it leads to defensiveness. And that's why all these coincide together. Because each one causes the next one. Or they all coexist. And what I would tell you is, just let the person in. And those who watch the video, if you have someone you care about and you have walls, break them down. Open your heart to them. Talk to them. Let them know, I don't feel, I want to be vulnerable with you. And it's okay. And I'm saying this more to the men than the women. It's okay, men, to be vulnerable with the woman you love, or the man you love, or whoever you love. It's okay. Let them see you cry. Let them see you upset. It's fine. It doesn't make you less than a person. It doesn't make you weaker or nothing. It just shows that you really care about this person. In a relationship, you always want to set up a secure environment where the person can say every single thing that's bothering them, and you be there to support them. And I feel like a lot of relationships that we see and we deal with, they all go south because of that. And I don't want to see that anymore. It's so hard in the world of technology where you can slide into someone's DMs and make them feel good temporarily, but you can't tell the person that you love, be a mother, a sister, a brother, a friend, how you're really feeling inside. And I feel like that's not the case. You shouldn't do that. The reason why I'm staying long on vulnerability is because I've dated a lot of women, like I said before, who had vulnerability issues. And each one, when I started, I didn't understand, but now I do. Well, a while ago I learned to help them break down that wall and be themselves. You know what I'm saying? It may not have been the way I wanted it to, and it kind of sucks I'm not with them, but I helped them. I taught them that you don't need me or anyone else to make you feel good. You should love yourself, and you should let your walls down to let good people in, because you never know. So just remember, just be vulnerable. It's okay. Excuse me. It's totally fine. Just let it happen. So let's move on to the next one. The last one is honesty versus deception. And with this, I'm just going to say that there's no definite way to build a lasting and healthy relationship on the foundation of dishonesty. You lie to your partner, it's a wrap. Well, not a wrap, but it causes them to mistrust you a lot. And that goes with any relationship. Family, friends, co-workers, whatever. You lie to someone, they're not going to trust you as much anymore. And this is like a basic rule that every relationship fails on. You would think it'd be the cheating, the lying. No, well, yeah, the lying. Sorry. You would think it'd be cheating. You would think it, not being safe, being vulnerable. No, it's just simple thing as honesty. If you don't love someone, why do you say it? Why do you lie to them? Why do you give them false hope? Why are you creating a deception? You're not a transformer. You're not a Decepticon. That's not what you do. You're supposed to be honest with them. If you really care for someone, you let them know everything, be it good or bad. Because at the end of the day, like my mom says, it's better that your significant other person knows than they find out from someone else. Because we all know you hate that job. When your best friend tell you something your girl did, or when your girlfriend tell you what your boy did, you don't want to hear from them. You want to hear from your significant other. And for you to have to find it through deceptive ways, or you have to find about their deceptive ways from someone else, I understand. It's upsetting. But you should not let that affect you in any way. You know what I mean? You should not do that. You should treat them the same way regardless. If you really care for that person, do not lie to them. And I'm saying this because I have a lot of girlfriends who tell me, like, my guy lied to me. He cheated on me. Why are you with them? I don't know. Convenience. Don't let that be a reason. Don't stay with someone for convenience after they lie to you and cheat on you. They're more liable to do it again. If you're not happy with someone, and this is what I don't understand in a relationship. If you're not happy and you're miserable, leave. Why are you still with them? Yeah, I understand you have love for them, but you can be their friends and still have love. And that's why, if you haven't seen my last video on Love Talks, go back and watch it after this, and then you'll connect. You can still love someone and not be with them. You can be married to someone and still love someone. It's okay to love everybody and multiple people. There's a difference between love and doing things, aka sex with someone, or coitus for some people. That's a whole nother topic which I'll cover in a later video, probably by the end of this week. But there's a difference between love and that. And if you want a good relationship, you should be open. You should be open-minded and willing to love everyone. You should be willing to give people a chance. Yeah, if people do you wrong, forgive them. Don't let it lead to resentment. You love this person, but you feel like you're creating they're not creating a safe space for you. Tell them you need more security. Be it not physical security, say you need more emotional security, more connection security, and that's okay. You feel like you can't be vulnerable. Talk to them. Don't get defensive. That's the problem with people. We always get defensive. Talk to them. That's all you have to do. Start a conversation. Like my tips, like some I said before, have a conversation. Reevaluate your relationship. See what's wrong and what's right. Weigh the pros and cons. See what is lacking in your relationship. Why the love is not reaching there, or why you're not receiving what you want. Do it from here, though. Don't do it because, you just want to show off and show people like, oh, our relationship is good, when it's not. Only you know what's behind closed doors. Don't throw stones in the glass house. If you think your relationship is good, reevaluate it. Then you'll see it. But don't go, my number one tip, do not go into a conversation upset or with something to gain or something to prove. Just go in there with the love that you have for that person. Say, hey, honey, I feel like I can't tell you everything. I want to be completely honest with you. I want to be vulnerable with you. Can we do something as simple as, every day we tell something that we feel about one another? You know what that builds right there? That's building love. That's building trust, and that's building honesty. 3 steps right there you just completed out of the 8 that I mentioned. You're vulnerable. No, actually 4. I'm lying. You hit all of them. You're making it reality. You're making it real. You're completing your needs and her needs. You're seeking forgiveness in the sense that since you haven't felt like you're being completely honest. You're being honest with them now. You're alleviating fear, so you're limiting that. You're creating security. And what else? Let's see. Oh, and you're basically making it easy to be vulnerable with them. So do something simple as that. If you care for this person. And and what I want you to do, viewers, is send it to someone you care about. Send it to someone you think is lacking in a relationship that's not going so well. Let them watch it and get an idea of what they need to work on. And help them. Because at the end of the day, the more we spread this love. Because the world don't need no more hate, right? We need a little bit more love. So pass this on. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's probably a little bit long. But think about the message. Don't think about the length. Think about what I'm explaining to you. Think about what you can do to better your relationship or with friends, families, lovers, whatever. And this is Purunga Plays. Well, for this segment, I'm calling Purunga Motivates. And I thank you for watching and check back again. Peace.